in 2E, my character's gonna be a liability. I'm just letting you know. I'll be powerful, but I'll be a
Well,
liability.
you have to then
In the
be able
next
to answer
campaign.
why is it that your party puts up with you? If you are straight up a liability, why are you
It
even
won't
part of
be
the
a
group?
liability in a choice way. There we go. They'll put up for with it because they'll feel sorry for me. There we go.
They
That's
will
a
be the
big ask.
deciders of that. Well, just keep your dice handy in case we need to roll up a new character.
I'm a backup character because it's not just partly. That's my character might also be like, I don't know. I'm a druggy junkie, but even I'm questioning this.
And last thing I'll say after reading more into 2E, make sure when you're reading skills to make sure that cuz if it has the attack thing, then it falls under map. And there are quite a few things that deal damage in combat to things that don't qualify as an attack. So they don't qualify under map, which is like multiple attack penalties. So
Mhm.
that is something to look out for that I didn't realize until like 2 days ago. But all right, I'm done. We can play. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So, super quick recap. Did you guys all see the message you got from the All Fool for the aside campaign last week?
Is it
It's
under general or
it's
in
in
chat?
chat. Yeah, it's under general. Okay. So, I will not be answering questions about that. That is all that you heard that or you remembered that and that is it. Do with it what you will. So, last time that we had the actual campaign, Calistan and Prince went off searching for Calistan's brother, supposedly. Malith went in after or to go meet with the king and began speaking with him. Jasper is in the tunnels going somewhere as directed by Prince, and then Gabriel and Hestia are in with the intention of searching for the queen, hoping that she is in, having found footprints that indicate that she might be. So we will begin with Gabriel and Hestia. As you enter into the tunnel, and you are joined by uh, name. Why can't I remember the name of my own characters? Master Vakelian. You make your way and find a junction, one of which goes left, one of which goes right. The one that goes to the left has about half a dozen pairs of footprints that move towards it that seem to be fresh. The one to the right has no footprints.
Okay.
I could probably cast a spell to know which way it is, but there's also footprints on the ground, and that's good.
I mean, I'm okay following the footprints. Are you guys okay following the footprints?
I'm good with following the footprints. Worst comes to
Vakelian
worst, we'll
nods.
turn the other way.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go.
Following the footprints more than the winding path of the actual um, of the actual tunnel. You travel for a few minutes until you hear the whisper of voices ahead, which suddenly go quiet. Before you, you see no light, just the small, dark, cramped cavern. Or, yeah, cavern before you. Do you think they heard us? Asks Vakelian.
They didn't.
Figure out. Through my lips. And can you roll a perception for me?
Yes.
I'd like to as well.
with a 22 and a 20 perception, you can't hear anything else in the tunnels. All sound has stopped. You can, so from where you're at, and I believe you both have dark vision, as I recall. Where you're
I
at,
think so.
you can
Either that or
see,
low light.
Yeah.
sure. So you can see about 20 feet in front of you, and then the cavern itself turns to the left and disappears. But behind you, you see where you came. The footsteps before you are still present. But there's no sign of anyone, at least in sight.
So I have a spell called Wandering Star Motes, but usually you try and do it towards one person, but could I just put it in the air?
What
and
does it
see?
do?
You create sparkling motes of bright light that shoot towards the target and swirl around in a complex pattern. Pattern clearly outlines the target and radiates light as if it was a sunrod, negating any concealment for the target. The target must make a successful will save. If the target fails its save, it stays for one round and must make another save on its next turn or be dazed again for one round.
So you just want to do it down the corridor?
Yeah, just to see if anybody's hiding.
Okay. You cast it down the corridor, and they actually stop about 5 feet in front of you. And outlined, you see a man with two daggers in hand sneaking up on you. And he is apparently invisible because all you can see is his outline. But your spell caught him right in the face as he was trying to sneak towards you. He lets out a shocked sound, and you can tell that he's staggered to some degree. He's not able to move for a moment, taken completely by surprise and dazed by your spell. But you only have moments to act before you're.
Okay, I'm going to strike fear. Give me a second. I'm just trying to find my fear curse.
Gabriel, are you doing anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Uh, I'm going to persuade him to stand down.
Okay.
I'm gonna speak with him and say, look, I know you're just trying to do your job, but my name is Gabriel. I've literally taken face death to save the queen. We mean nobody in this building any harm. We are trying to get an urgent message to the queen and her generals. We don't want to fight you. Definitely don't want to kill you. We are on the same side.
I don't mind killing you.
Well, I don't want to kill you. She doesn't mind, but I'd rather.
I'm okay with not killing them, as long as they don't make me trouble, but depends on what
Can
the
you
choices
roll
are.
an intimidate check, Erica?
Heck yeah.
Or Hestia?
And
Gabriel,
diplomacy for me, I guess.
in the heat of the moment, you
Or
trip over your words and your message ends up coming across more desperate. You actually rolled a nat 1 on your diplomacy.
Oh, great.
Hestia, are you still casting? Oh, you did cast fear. Let's get his
Mhm.
save. What's the DC on that?
Give me a second. I'm moving around. It is a. It doesn't say.
What level spell is it?
Level 4.
Okay, so it's gonna be 19. So what is it that you say to him, Erica, with your intimidate check?
I said, I don't mind killing you. I know that if you step 1 foot further, I will slit your throat with spikes from the wall. I wouldn't try it if I were you, but we are here to see the queen, and we mean her no harm.
As he comes out of the daze, you can't see his face, you can't see his lips, but you can see his figure as he is cowering now before you, Hestia. And he speaks. If you mean the queen no harm, then what assurances do you have that you are who you say you are?
You're alive, aren't you? Doesn't matter, Pat. Like,
I will return.
we are with
What-
Vocalion. We are with Vocalion, a trusted friend of the queen's as well. But I do not take people backstabbing, hurting me and friends lightly. That is why I reacted that way.
He stops and his
What kind of assurances do you want? You can tell the queen that Gabriel, who took the death ray for her, is here.
he
Saved her life.
he stops for a moment and his invisibility dissipates. He looks at you in the low light and says, "If you are who you say you are, then the queen will know. I will speak to her and I will inform her of what you say, and she will decide if it is true."
Bring my owl with you, so that way I know that you're not doing anything tricky. We will have one of your men stay with us for guarantees. Understood?
After a moment, or after a minute or two, he returns with 2 other guards. "Follow me," he says. "No sudden movements, but I will take you to see the queen."
Of course, if it makes you feel any better, out of the 2 guards, I'm gonna look at what I say. You can hold my bow, and you can hold my axe. Like, those are the weapons that I rely on the most. Hold on to them, and then once you realize that everything's okay, you can return them back to me.
They accept your
I don't need
weapons.
weapons to kill anybody.
They give you they give you an uncertain look, Hestia.
But I won't. As long as no one tries to attack us.
Sorry, 1 second.
Sorry.
I mean, granted, I don't think I need weapons either, but like my magic is not as strong as yours. And honestly, I'm still pretty tired after that last battle.
Yeah, I just don't
We
want
have,
them killing us
yeah,
for doing something stupid like that.
yeah. No, a lot of blood has been spilled in this country right now. I don't want to add to it unnecessarily.
Neither do I. That's why I'm threatening that.
Sorry, I'm having a ridiculous coughing fit. All right, they look at you uncertainly, Hestia, but they lead you forward. And actually, only a couple bends from where you were, you see a small group that is gathered around a small a small model. It looks like it might be a model of the palace, actually. It is constructed of sand and seems to be holding itself up in an unnatural way. One of the members of the group you see is the queen, along with several of her guard that you recognize from when you were in Fort Frolic. She sees you, turns and notices Vocalion, and says, "It is you."
To my knees and bow, and then look back up and say, "Your Majesty, there is important and dire news I would
First,
like to share."
I need to verify something. She turns to one of her guards, who steps forward and casts Detect Magic on the three of you. "No illusions, my queen. They are who they appear to be." She nods, and everyone around you relaxes. "Speak freely, Gabriel," the queen says.
Out of game, real quick. Have we spoken with Vocalion? Does he know? Oh, he was
He's
there,
he's with you,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, so he was there for the Revenant, right?
He was there for the what?
The Ravener.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Majesty, it's we bear good news and bad news. We'll start with the good news. Mordecai the Lich is dead, or as dead as that Lich can be. We faced him in battle, and we bested him. However, we had his phylactery, and when I say that, I'm gonna look at her and around to see if people know what a phylactery is.
Go. Let me make a sense motive check for you.
Mhm. I know it's a little metagamey, but I'm assuming that the ones that knew what a phylactery was would have told us what happened with the phylactery and explain what it was.
I mean, yeah, that's a fair assumption on your guys' side. Um, as you are looking at them, there's too much going on in too short a time for you to tell how much of their response to you is because of what you're seeing or saying, and how much might be for other things.
Okay.
Oh, by
But
the
then
way,
I
real
will
quick,
continue. Oh,
Hestia, I saw you cast True Seeing, so you notice that the palace made of sand is built up by magic. It is not an illusion, though. And other than that, you see one other guard in the room is invisible and standing at the ready, watching the three of you very closely. Other than
You said
that,
the castle was.
there's a small sand castle that's built up by magic that appears to be a scale model of the palace
Uh huh. Okay.
with ridiculous amounts of detail. But
Okay.
yeah, so other than that, there's no special things to notice with your true seeing spell right now.
Okay.
So Gabriel, go ahead. You don't notice any reaction to you mentioning the phylactery, at least nothing that you can isolate down as to being due to your discussion about the lich.
we we destroyed the Lich, Mordecai, took his phylactery, and
And you're certain that he is gone for good? The queen
we're
says.
not certain. we're not very certain that he is gone for good. The reason for that is we found Zelakar. We found him.
And you are certain that it was truly him?
Yes.
We saw him. He transformed into his glorious form. But that is not the good news.
She darts her eyes towards Vakelian to watch his reaction at this account. You always claimed that the stories were true, old friend. Are you satisfied that they are? Vakelian nods. Yes, Elena. Yes, Elora. I saw them with my own eyes. I saw the dragon with my own eyes. He is real.
And he is also the threat that we have come to warn about.
Wait, the queen says. The dragon is the threat?
He wants to make the whole land undead so he can stop this war, so he can protect it forever.
He cares about the land,
Not
and he wants it to see it unified, whether it be undead or alive.
He gave
It
us
does
a
not
week.
matter to him.
He gave us a week to try our own way of trying to unify everybody and everything, but he didn't believe it could be done.
You say that he was behind this? All of this?
Yes.
And the phylactery of Mordecai. The reason I'm not 100% sure that Mordecai is fully gone. Zelakar is not the dragon we all thought he was. Whether we, and I gesture at Lokelian, whether we have faith that he was real or whether we just thought that it was a story. He consumed that phylactery and has transformed into something horrible and unnatural. And if any of you here in this room can cast Zone of Truth, please do so. I want to make sure that you guys understand the severity of this and the truthfulness of our words. We don't have a lot of time to put an end to the war and unify Selkir, unify the land. I am willing to stay here, fight, and die if need be. But we want to minimize as much death as possible.
The queen looks confused. How is this even possible? A unified Zelkir? Why is that? You hope to fight back against him? To destroy him?
We hope to not see everybody die undead for the rest of this land's history.
And you intend to do this how? I restate my question. You plan to unite under the banner of Zelkir and fight against this dragon?
I think
If
people.
we are unified, sorry, go ahead, Hestia.
I think people will unite, knowing that if they don't, everything is lost. That everyone they love will die. That there is no other opportunities to unite. I think they will try and at least understand the severity of the situation and give a little bit more leeway for whatever actions we have. and it's worth a try.
We have had a united Zelkir for the last 2 decades. What is it that you are not satisfied with of that until now?
It's what the dragon isn't satisfied with. Not us.
So, you have these lofty goals of peace. I'd remind you we're in the middle of a war here, a war apparently started by your dragon. What is it that you propose? Specifics, please.
I propose we tell people the truth and unite under the banner of Zelkir, not as one commander or one queen or one king, but as humans trying to live.
She
There
looks at
needs to
you
be a
and
clear leader.
sighs.
I think the leaders can be able to prove themselves to their people by defending them and helping them in whatever way they can. That is the mark of a true leader, is it not?
Yes, she says. That is one way to put it.
The people can decide for themselves who they want to follow.
You said something about a week, something about the dragon desired this peace. What do you mean?
We do not have a ceasefire or cease of fighting. Sorry, can you guys hear me? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Okay. If peace and unity is not achieved within a week, he will come after us. All of us.
And kill us all.
Living flesh and blood, undead, peasant, royalty, soldier, civilian. He will come after us all. He himself will.
Well, then, if you're intent to unite Zelkir again, you can join me. We strike against Pietro now. We can decapitate, if I am to understand you correctly, and the stories that I heard shortly after leaving Fort Frolic. You've now dealt with both the mad necromancer and the lich. All that's left, Pietro. If we can destroy him, here, now, then we do have a chance at uniting Zelkir again. A week, if we disseminate the news properly, it is something. But Pietro must be destroyed.
And I agree with you on that. We cannot have peace and be unified. He lives. Whatever his version of living is.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Um, we cannot have peace and unity as far as he lives, whatever his version of living is.
Then we are in agreement. The tool that you gave me, the runite, it will prove useful in this surprise attack. We are prepared to move against him. In fact, we were preparing the last parts of this plan now.
Okay.
Do I have your aid still now as I did once, Gabriel? Not a week ago.
Oh, until my dying breath and beyond.
And you, Hestia,
You have mine as long as you can guarantee the safety of my people. If everything works out.
your people. I must admit that I am not familiar, though I do recognize Zelkir on your tongue. I sense that you're a native here, though I am sorry to admit that I'm not sure how and where.
My people are the fetchlings. They've come from. Is it a different realm? No, we've come from a different plane as refugees, and we're looking for a homeland to be able to settle down in for good. No longer refugees, but as citizens. I've been here for about 20 years.
If it is solace that you and yours need, and you can help to liberate Zelkir again, if you can help to stop the efforts of this dragon, as well as the usurper, then land and peace you shall have. I shall see to that myself. And you, Vakelian, I suppose that I have your assistance as well. Of course, Alora, he says. But are you sure that engaging in this fight is the best way to get what we need? She looks at him flatly and then turns back to you, Gabriel and Hestia. Well then, let us go over the plan. We will need to move quickly, so I will confer with you, and then we will make our move. We are awaiting a signal right now, and as soon as we receive it, it is time to strike.
Then I will try and sit and rest as long as I can. We haven't rested since we fought Mordecai.
Okay. All right, we'll move from there. We're going to go to Maleth. And we'll probably... I'm going to go over separately with each of you. I'll send you both messages about the plan that she goes over with you, and if you have any conversing that we want to do, we can do that out of game. At least as far as preparation goes.
Out of curiosity,
Yeah, go ahead.
the people who got the message from the guy from last week, is that just the people who were there, or is that everyone?
That's everyone. What I put
Okay.
in chat.
Okay.
Actually, would it be better, Maleth, would it be better to go to you or to go to what Caliston and Prince are doing?
Either way. I do need to get another video on for the baby real quick, but other than that.
Okay, then I'm gonna quickly do, I think
I
we
can
can,
do that.
yeah, we
Okay.
can, okay. Then,
It just stopped.
yeah, let's do that. Maleth, let's go to you. So,
Okay.
the last thing that was said between you and Pietro was you asked him to ally with you and your companions, the Queen and Bellivant and everyone, rather than sitting by the side and waiting for Zelikar's plan to fulfill itself and secure the throne for him. And he says, Maleth, you want me to ally with you, your companions, the Queen and Bellivant. What's in it for me?
Well, if you take out the dragon now, while you have allies to do so, you don't have to worry about it taking you out later. You also have some guarantee that there is a Zelakar left to rule. Further, while working with the others to alleviate the threat of the dragon, you may get more insight into them, which if you continue on your battle later, that you can still probably ease your win. It could be some benefit. You also might persuade more people that you are, in fact, the best ruler and that you could easily just wait behind. But a willingness to work with others to tackle the bigger threat for the time being demonstrates something in a leader that is valuable. Um,
And you
I
think
can
that the
I can
queen
already go ahead.
and you think that the queen and Bellavant would simply idly stand by and not take me down the moment they had the opportunity?
Well, if they wait till after the dragon is defeated, just like I'm asking you to do, then you have just as much chance of taking them down.
On the
And
contrary, right now I am at the verge of taking them both down.
and then
You
how
ask
will
me
you
to
deal with the
squander.
dragon without them? Not
I
only that, but if they did move against you, they would also have to deal with my companions being against them. They all supported me coming here to try to get you to help with this. At this point, I think they would oppose anyone who is not also working towards the same goal.
So you're telling me that you and your companions will stand by my side if it comes down to a fight after the dragon is dealt with?
Well, no, I'm saying that they would stand by your side if the others broke any agreement to move against the dragon along your side and took advantage too quickly.
Too quickly, Maleth, you are not stupid. You understand as well as I do that the Queen moving against me is not a matter of if, but of when. Right
Yes,
now,
and
I
I'm
hold the
just trying to make
cards.
sure that win is after the bigger threat is taken care of, because I don't think any one of the three sides here is equipped to deal with Zelakar moving against them. I think this is the one opportunity to take this out. And
Maleth,
any one of you who rules will need that happening, including you, because Zelakar will dispose of you as quickly as he did the Lich Mordecai if given the chance. I have little doubt of that.
Mordecai was prideful. He seized power and had no care as to what was destroyed in the process. If you want to look at all the destruction that lies around us, that was necessary to bring this into being, that was his handiwork, not mine. The dragon, as it sounds from your perspective, and correct me if I'm wrong, Emmeline, he wants peace. Peace that I can bring once he has transformed this land truly into a haven for the undead. Once he has transformed it truly into the land of death, I will broker that peace. I will
Do you
hold these
think you can
lands.
keep the consistent peace under the conditions that the dragon will want? Forever. Again, without turning against you and disposing of you.
The real question, Maleth, is who can I trust more? The Queen and her petty general, or the dragon? And for me, I think that is an easy answer.
I don't think you can trust either. And not only, I don't think it's just a matter of trust, it's if and when either proves, I'll say when either proves that you can't trust them. Which are you more easiest to equip with? I personally have no doubt that you could take out the queen whenever you wanted. I can't say the same about the dragon.
I appreciate your confidence and your candor, daughter. And I don't think that I find myself disagreeing with you, especially if what I'm hearing is correct. But I just don't see the dragon as a wasteful master. In fact, if I am to understand from the past 6 months, he's quite hands off. He knows what he wants, and he put me in place to get it. In fact, up until now, he has made no move to step in when you disposed of Alexander. He even assisted in destroying the Lich. But me, when you move into position to threaten me, he threatens you. Don't you see it, Malith? I am his tool. Now, I must admit, it does gall me at the thought of being used. But what I'm establishing here, in a century, it will be beyond anything that you can even imagine. Zelkir will be a land teeming with the undead, a place of refuge, a place of safety, a place of power, recognized by the other nations. None of that requires your queen. None of that requires the city of Barrowend, which will, I must add, soon fall. All of this, if I do nothing at all. But wait.
That is assuming that the piece the dragon has in mind and what you have in mind are identical, and that he doesn't see you as a tool you can dispose of.
And that is
I
also
personally don't
assuming
think you can bank on that.
that is also assuming, Malith, that the Queen and even some of your companions, I know that there is no love lost between a few of them and myself. That is assuming that you don't take that opportunity to destroy me, if you can find it.
Even the companion who arguably holds the most ill will towards you supported me coming here to you today. For one, and they all have their doubts about the Queen and Barrowlane as well. But none of them doubt that the dragon is a big threat to Zelkior, who should be taken out now, if there is to be any Zelkior remaining.
He looks at you. What assurances would you offer me, Malith? Were I to throw my lot in with you and the doomed queen, were I to join you in this foolish escapade, what assurances do I have of my position, of mine and my people's safety?
I will propose to my companions that whatever peace is brokered to defeat the dragon extends to a week after the dragon's defeat, so that no party can take advantage of the moment immediately after, and we will move against anyone who breaks that peace, regardless of who they are.
A week. A week, Malith.
Or whatever time you think is fair to all parties.
The throne upon which I now sit is mine. I will not risk it for such a silly and juvenile gambit, even if what you say is true. I would want oaths, blood oaths that can be scarcely broken. That I
What
could
would you
have
want these blood oaths to consist of?
assurances, 2 decades, no less. That which I have taken is mine.
I cannot guarantee the end of a war for 2 decades.
And yet
That
it
is certain.
seems that that is a small piece of what the dragon asks of you, is it not? Peace, after 1 week, and yet you have no faith that we can even hold it together for 2 decades. 20 measly years.
I think we could if all 3 parties agreed. I mean, I came here thinking it'd be easier to get parties to agree to kill the dragon, so it can't kill anyone else, and no one will agree to that even. I would hope that a better peace than that could be brokered, but
Thus
it
far,
seems that the impending
Zelicar has
threat.
made no move against me, Maleth. Yet you and yours, the Queen, Bellavant, you all have. So far as I see it, the only ally I have left is the dragon.
I can understand that. Just keep in mind with everyone else you mentioned, as I said before, they are much more easily defeated than the dragon will be.
Maleth, can you make a perception check?
Yes. Where is perception? There it is. Why is that not? There we go. What the hell? I should have cast. Well, no, I couldn't. He probably has magic blocked. I was like, I could have cast that bit of luck spell before then, but I didn't think about it. And I probably can't use magic.
Behind
well.
you, you hear a piercing scream coming from the other side of the door. Then, after a moment, the door opens and one of the vampire guards cautiously steps into the room. All eyes turn to him. Expectantly, Pietro looks on. My lord, the vampire guard says. Someone wishes to speak with you. He is quite insistent, though he claims that he comes bearing no ill will. Maleth, you give me a sense motive check as well. You have encountered vampires a number of times in your life. A little bit more recently, but you've never before seen a vampire that you would describe as afraid before this moment. Pietro looks to each of all the rest of the guards in the room, and there's about a dozen in the room. He has a hand on each of his daggers, and he nods and says, "Bring him in." And in a moment, 4 of the guards disappear. You would recognize, Maleth, that they cast invisibility. And the guard who came through the door goes back through. And he returns leading Jasper into the room, into the throne room.
Maleth is going to look startled for a minute and be like, Jasper, what are you doing here?
You followed the king's orders. You came alone.
Yes, I did.
And I came after because I assumed that one on their own could only do so much. So that's why I come here. In peace.
Peace. Pietro snaps. How did you get past my guards? I had no notice that anyone had entered the palace.
You can pry if you like. But I think that that's not the most pressing matter at hand. The question is, what can I do to assist you?
Pietro looks at you both. What is it that you are offering? I assume that you're aware of the offer that my daughter has made me. A peace at the cost of everything that I've fought for, everything that I've built. All on a gamble to destroy this dragon that I'm not so convinced isn't the most powerful ally that I could have at this time.
Well, if you think of it that way, I can understand why you would come to such a conclusion. But if you were aware of the pending doom for you and, well, and Jasper looks around, surely you have more of your court or guards in here than I can currently discern. But no matter. If you hold any value to your continued undeath or general existence, you would probably wish to quickly listen to what I have to say, because of the three parties in question, the Queen is at the greatest advantage at this point in time. And as much as I would love for the Queen to smite all of you down, I am not so stubborn and vengeful as to know that there is a better way given the greater threat of Zelakar. Even if it is a temporary alliance, I would see you alive. As much as I hate to say that.
What do you
For
mean
yet
the Queen has the greatest advantage at this time?
And that's the best part. I intentionally don't have all the details, so that way you couldn't pry them all from me. But I know enough to know that any moment, whether it is in the next 5 minutes or in the next 5 days, I imagine that you'll find your abode here very much decimated, along with your very undeath-leached souls.
He looks at you studiously. Speak plainly, man. You're saying that the Queen is attacking me here? Attacking me with the strength sufficient to destroy me?
In a manner of speaking, the attack is already on, I'm certain. And it will probably only be apparent in the very last moments, when the final blow is being dealt.
Pietro nods in a peculiar way. Go ahead and make a sense motive check, both of you.
Woo! Oh, geez, I don't have my Discord open. But it's a nat 18. I know my Discord, my Fantasy Grounds open. Darn it. Sorry, I've been doing some cleaning. Is anyone there?
You're there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Did Taggart freeze or something?
I think
I was-
so, yeah.
Oh, did I not have my mic open, or can you guys hear me now?
We can hear you now, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think I accidentally muted my mic. What was the last thing you heard?
Nothing. It was just me saying that
Gotcha. Okay, so you have a +7, so that brings you to a 25 with Malith's 24. He was definitely giving a signal or something, though you're not sure exactly what or to whom, and nobody seems to be doing anything after he gave the signal. An imminent attack. Well, Jasper Bizzotti, I've given my terms if you want an alliance to Malith. I want an assurance of 20 years of inaction against me by the Queen and the rest of her lackeys here in Zelkir. What I have taken is mine. Melkar, here in western Zelkir, it is mine. From the north to the south. 20 years. Those are my terms.
In most contexts, that is a very tall order, but in the context of a near eternal dragon who seeks to wipe out all living, and from what he mentioned, I would only presume all undead who stand in the way of peace, probably means ambitious, intelligent undead by his standards, which he gave. Yeah, I think that all parties would settle on a ceasefire, truce, of geopolitical inaction against each other for 20 years. I imagine that we can broker that. But it would have to be a three-way street. Meaning, yes, inaction against you on the Queen and Bellavant's end should Bellavant hold his own stake within Zelkir. But you not taking geopolitical action against them as well.
He looks at you consideringly. There's one more thing that I would have.
I believe I know what that is.
He looks at you, meeting your eyes. A piece of her.
And you will have it. But I need what I asked for. The agreement which we made before. The piece of her for my meeting with Emmeline.
She stands before you. You can meet with her now.
Alone. I would require immunity in your kingdom so long as I don't inflict harm upon you and your kind. And I would meet with her. And I promise you in this moment, I will disclose the location of the piece of her, and it will be intact and undefiled.
How quickly can you procure it?
Before you know it, you'll have it.
He motions for one of his assistants and says, the zone of truth, if you will. After the spell is cast, he steps forward and says, Jasper Bazadi, if you give to me that which I desire, I will give to you your immunity, and I will allow you to speak with the one who you wish. However, I still must need those assurances of the agreement. 2 decades, no less. Is this sufficient for you?
I can scarcely force the Queen and Bellevant to the exactness of those terms, but I will press for it with every fiber that I have, if it grants me the peace and the opportunity to speak with Emmeline.
Give me what I desire, and you can speak with Emmeline.
Jasper looks down at his cane, and after a few moments, he unscrews the top of its cane, and it's hollowed, and he removes this finger from it, and he outstretches his arm.
With a flick of his fingers, Pietro casts the Mage Hand spell, and the finger comes towards him. And he looks at it, turns it around in his fingers, sniffs it, and even licks it. And he takes a long, deep sigh. Yes, it is her. Jasper, you can speak with your wife. But get me my terms. Get me a meeting. I will send a representative. And trust me, should any threat fall upon me, should any harm come to my designee, I can assure you, you will have nothing to look forward to but the reigning death that the dragon will bestow upon you. And I promise that me and mine will be spared from the onslaught.
I agree to these terms. A word of caution. I'm not suggesting you give up your palace, but potentially, to broker this peace, it is best for you to... How do I say this without sounding threatening, because I am trying to be genuine? I do intend for this peace to be brokered, and perhaps Maleth could give more detail. But I believe that it would be a great shock to the Queen and temporarily halt her plans. The means and methods which she uses right now to get the advantage over you, to defeat you, they would be helpful in the fight against Zelikar. I would rather them not go to waste on you at this time. And if that means you need to temporarily flee the palace, then so be it. In the meantime, I believe that at this moment we are trying to broker peace and cooperation with the Queen, but we can only do so much in a short amount of time.
And how do you intend to bring Bellevant into all of this? I understand that he still holds strong in Barrowain, for the time being, at least.
He is the last piece of the puzzle, and we do have a week before the dragon decides who lives and who dies. And I can guarantee, based on his very specific idea of peace, it wouldn't wouldn't involve a leader such as ambitious as you, at least not in the long run. So regardless of the chances of getting Bellavant to side with us, I think that there's a better shot trying to do that than siding with a mad quasi-god.
Pietro nods. We shall see. Your warning is heard and recognized. I will, as a sign of good faith, have my commander halt his march towards Barrowain. See to it.
There's a good chance that meeting with you with haste would bear, at least temporarily, good fruit for us all. I don't know exactly what Maleth said, but based on our previous conversations, I have no doubt that I agree and support every bit of it. She is a stellar young lady.
Maleth would be blushing mildly.
I imagine that, despite the separation between you two, and despite the animosity that I've held towards you, and I'm surely she's heard it, me being a companion with her on this journey, I imagine that she has some respect for you and you some admiration for her. Let that be the one sentimental thing I say to you.
Pietro nods. If for nothing else, I appreciate you keeping my daughter safe. Though, from what I've seen, I'm sure that she can hold her own. I'm glad that she has companions as ferocious as my greatest nemesis.
And on how fitting that my greatest nemesis procured and developed a kingdom such as this. I never would have dreamt of such a thing in my worst nightmares. An abode for the undead. Yes, here I stand in your court.
And if you have your way, this abomination will last forever. And he smiles as he says that.
In all my time, and short as my years are in comparison to others, I have learned a few great truths, and one of them is that nothing truly lasts forever.
We shall see, Jasper Bazzotti, Pietro says. But for now, it appears that I win again. And he lets out a laugh. That's where we're going to end tonight. Sorry, Kyle and Parley. We will start with you guys next time.
That's okay. This was great.
Yeah, it was.
What's this moron laughing about now? Did I give him something OP by giving him that finger? Jeez.
Well, I mean,
You should be quivering
No.
now that you have your leg back.
so Jasper, you couldn't destroy him before, and now you originally came here with the intent to kill him, and instead you are helping secure his kingdom.
I mean,
He
Malith
wins.
has wanted to kill him her entire life, and she has help of that too. What the hell?
If anything, the dragon Zelkir has just granted that Pietro will continue to live. Like, if it weren't for this stupid dragon, I would have Pietro's freaking head on a silver platter with holy water on the side. I hate this man.
Yeah.
I mean, for the record, like after his like semi-gloating, Malith is still sitting there thinking, "Can we still overthrow him and crown Jasper instead?" Like, is that a thing that can happen?
I don't think it can. Ironically, the more I talk to these royal dullards, the more that actually starts to sound like a good idea. But I hate that I'm.
Yeah.
I
Are you
hate that-
convinced yet? Are you convinced that Jasper
Stop!
should be king yet?
Don't
Because I can
Please,
tell you,
King,
the more I
please.
hear of the queen, the more I'm against her.
Agreed. Bazari. Bazari.
Oh.
Bazari.
Dude, I was thrown off by your guys' conversation with the queen, but I mean, if anything, maybe that was the smart thing to do. Like, yep, we're totally on your side. Yep, let's go ahead and kill Pietro. I don't know if that's exactly what you intend on doing, or if it's just this is the easiest way to like get on good
Find
terms
you.
with her.
Okay.
I don't know. Wait, what were you saying, Parley?
No, go on.
Oh no, that was it. That's all I said. I just don't know if this is like if this is the best way that you could have possibly initially gained her trust, and if the you need to side with Pietro comes later, or if you guys are just like yeah no there's no way in heck we're gonna make Pietro be part of this plan. Like we'll take our chances with just the queen and her forces and Belivan and her forces against the dragon. I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, you guys aren't talking
We'll
to each
see
other
how it
though.
shakes
We'll
out.
see. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm scared.
You better be.
I mean, the
wanna talk
queen
to
still holds
Caroline
like a
already.
remember, the queen still has the platinum chip, so to speak. So that, even if we just have her support, will be very
Yeah.
valuable.
I kind of hate that we gave her the Runite now just because I don't like her, but
I mean, worst case, we can take it back.
I mean, I'm kind of for like this whole anarchy solution and just moving against all three.
I like anarchy.
I mean, I think that might be what we need to do, to be quite honest. Like, I don't know. No one is going to like. I mean, like Pietro's being as difficult, as we expected, and I don't expect the Queen or Bellevant to honestly be more forgiving than him. Quite honestly.
Honestly, I'm not even sure that Pietro is the worst of the three options.
That's basically what it's almost seeming like at this point.
I kind of
Right.
feel like at this point, after hearing all their responses, we should just let them fight each other, and whoever's left, we kill them, and then there's peace. Everyone's fine. All the people of Zilkir can live happily ever after. There are no more rulers.
Let them take each other out, and then we take the final out.
And then the
That is
dragon will
true,
fight
yeah.
whoever's left.
But then there's gonna be fighting on who should be the ruler. And
Well,
the
I think we
dragon
all
will
can
kill
agree
us
on
all.
Jasper. If we can get Jasper to agree on Jasper.
Yes, what we need to do is break Jasper's legs to put him in a wheelchair, and then we can create an elaborate story about how he doesn't want to be the king, and therefore he makes the best ruler.
Could we literally change his mind?
No.
This is a
Doesn't
good
it-
plan. Let's go.
Imagine Zelkir being divided into four. That'd be like the worst ending. Like Jasper, Queen, Eleonora, sorry, Bellevant, and Pietro.
And then the dragon killing them all.
The dragon's killing us all because we forgot to take care of the dragon. Oh, I freaking hate this. This is like way harder than New Vegas when it making. Like I thought I had a hard time between Yes Man and Mr. House. This is difficult right here. I have to side with freaking Caesar's Legion to make sure that we have peace. I hate it.
A temporary alliance with Caesar's Legion.
Yeah, it's only 20 years.
I know. I'm already like 53. I can't wait till I'm 73 to kill King Pietro.
No. We'll just Sin will make you undead.
Oh gosh.
Stall the timer, so to speak, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure Pharasma's gonna be thrilled, but actually no, I guess Pharasma is more or less thrilled.
Okay,
with
well,
the
this is your
decision.
ticket out of Pharasma's whatever you have with her, alright?
I'm sorry, like Pharasma saved me, and I kind of have like a Stockholm syndrome boner for her now.
The real thing that my character was trying to do was just convince everyone that the gods are cringe. And I don't have very many sessions left to prove that.
All right, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you to our viewers. I hope that you could actually hear some of us. I know that we've been very consistent on that. Goodbye.